Polls have opened in Israel's national elections, the third in just 11 months. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is hoping to retain power despite facing corruption charges, while challenger Benny Gantz is playing the character card against his opponent. SBS correspondent Ben Lewis joins us now live from a polling station in Tel Aviv. Ben, what do the polls suggest the outcome might be?
Oh, Janice, good evening. The most recent polls before Election Day showed that Mr Netanyahu's Likud party has a slight lead over Benny Gantz's Blue and White party, but there's no guarantee that either man would be able to form a government after this election. Israel is going through a political crisis and the coronavirus crisis. A recent poll found that up to 7% of Israelis are considering staying home today, worried about the spread of the disease. So authorities here are taking extraordinary measures. It's democracy free from disease. Specially designed polling stations for Israelis under coronavirus quarantine so they can cast a vote but still be observed by election officials.
We have two separate tents with a transparent wall. They will see him through the transparent wall.
Leaders of the two main parties have accused each other of spreading rumours about the virus to sway votes.
הדמוקרטיה וההצבעה של כל אזרח ואזרחית בישראל זה זכות יסודית דמוקרטית, זה גם חובה דמוקרטית. ואני מבקש מכם למלא אחרי חובתכם זאת, תעשו את זה בבטחה, בידיעה שאנחנו דואגים לכל מה שצריך לדאוג, כדי שהנגיף הזה באמת יהיה נשלט, והוא נשלט היום.
אני קורא לציבור בישראל לצאת, להצביע בהמוניו, כל אחד על פי שיגיד לו ליבו ועל פי תפיסותיו שלו.
The virus isn't top of most voters' minds. Next month, Mr Netanyahu goes on trial over allegations of bribery and fraud, which he denies. In Jerusalem's Jewish quarter, enthusiasm for the man they call Bibi remains strong.
He's an innocent guy. He's a king of Israel. We don't have somebody else, only Bibi.
The indictment against him appears to have galvanised his base of nationalists and ultra-Orthodox communities.
Every leader make mistake in the past. Every big guy, every great guy make some small mistake. So I don't care. If it's good for Israel, it's good for Israel.
Head away from the holy city towards the more liberal Tel Aviv, and Netanyahu's fans are few and far between.
Should have quit, 4 years ago, but he still want to be the prime minister because of the indictments and his legal status. But I think it's we need a change.
Many are just sick and tired of politics in general.
I don't have someone that I think is deserved to be a prime minister in Israel. We have a problem here.
While some frustrated Israelis wouldn't cross the street to vote this time, others flew in to do so. Justin Kleiger is an Australian who used to live in Israel and came back to cast a ballot for a left-leaning party.
It's pretty sad that we have to go through 3 rounds, but it's important to vote, so that's why we came.
Both Mr Netanyahu and Mr Gantz are targeting voters who stayed home last time around. Turnout in the September election was just under 70%, meaning there were around 2 million Israelis who were eligible to vote but didn't. Some had good reason not to.
I was supposed to give birth on the day of the first elections. It will be the third time my baby, who is 11 months old, going to vote. And I really hope something will happen, but the feeling is that it will be the same and we'll go for the 4th time voting.
There's every chance that will be the case. There are a couple of party leaders who could prove kingmakers after the election. One is the leader of the secular but right-leaning Israel Our Home party. The other is the leader of the Joint Arab List, and Arab Israeli voters could play a key role if things are tight. Janice, the polls are now open. People starting to stream into schools and conference centres around the country. We'll get the first indication of the results when exit polls are released at around 10 o'clock tonight local time, so tomorrow morning Australian time, and that should give us some indication as to whether a government can be formed or if it looks like Israelis will have to go back to the polls for a 4th time.
He is hoping it's 3rd time lucky. That is our reporter Ben Lewis reporting live from Tel Aviv.